a compelling reason that you believe this proposed national monument is good and best for the people of the Sinamay?
Well, John, first I was at the Mariana's Resource Conservation Development Council when they introduced this to me, and they approached me on this issue for, I think it's about 3 times they approached me on this issue, and I said, okay, lay it on the table and I want to look at it. And when I put it up on the table, I see that, you know, there's a lot of good things about it. There's a lot of benefit to the community and even the youth. And then when they start mentioning about education, research, and tourism, I mean, that clicks me really, really up that, you know, it's really good for the island. And especially when they said education. Right now, if you go to the school, I think it's very, very minimum that they discuss about ocean towards the kids. And it's one of really, really good benefit for them to understand our marine water and know our marine environment, especially up north, what we have up there. Then they start coming in with all the report from the scientific report that we see a lot of marine organisms that we don't know that we have up there. And it's so amazed of what we have up there and what we don't have here. And I remember that way back in the 80s when I started working for DEQ, we do a lot of transit from Rhode Antinian and Saipan on fish count and coral. But I never see this coral that is present here in the Commonwealth. And when the report comes out on the scientific report, it does even mention about whales. You know, they say they have 19 different whales that we have up there, and I've never seen whales here jump on the east side of the island. So that's really, really, really good. Which is in Hawaii, they preserve those areas, and that is why that I think it is very important that we preserve some area here in the CNMI for our youth, and not only for the young now, but even for their kids to see. We used to fish here very close on the reef. Now it's hardly we can go to those areas, catch those kind of fish here. You know, you have to get on a boat and go out 3-4 miles or maybe 10 miles in order for you to get a big tuna or marlin or yellowfin. So okay. I think opportunity is right here for the Commonwealth. So
you're sold and to the idea that this post-marine national monument will ensure the protection of the resources, conservation, as well as educational values for the future generation. Were you convinced immediately, or it's because of your desire to make sure that what we are now enjoying is preserved for the future, and therefore you will support it? I mean, we all know too well that your successor, Sylvan, Frank Rebauliman, together with Dr. Joyner and all federal agencies, and as well as Fish and Wildlife, DEQ, and CRM are federally funded, but they're saying that they agree otherwise. For example, what's a brief response to their claims that this is to usurp our birthrights, and that they're already doing enough, and that the local capacity is there to protect the resources up there?
For me, John, I do respect of their opinion. I don't want to go against their opinion. This is my opinion, that I know that each agency, all these 3 agencies, receiving federal funds. When I was at DEQ, I was receiving like 80% federal funding. Maybe CRM 100, Fish and Wildlife I don't really know, but I know they're receiving. So all these funds that they've been giving to the agency, pretty much concentrating with what natural resources that we have that we should protect. So by protecting this, we're looking at our future generation too. When we do that, when we do the protection. The thing here now is we want to do more research of what we have, so we can try to convince more tourists to come in. Even scientists, even our college. This will benefit the college, which is
marine resource management.
Yeah, and not only that, our kids can get their PhD from all this areas that we have opportunity that's here.
Okay, thank you, Ike. Dave, what's your response to that, and how can you dispel that myth as well?
Firstly, let me just point out that we are still competing for this privilege. That we're competing with two other destinations, other locations. So it's not a hard and fast rule that we're going to get it. We don't know whether we're going to get it or not. However, we must maintain positive approach to this whole situation. We cannot just wipe it off and say, because I'm not really sure what's going to happen, I might as well say no. But for me, when somebody tells me that we want to preserve this area for research purposes, we want to preserve this area so that the natural habitat of the marine lives may continue to grow and grow, something that is rather unique. And the kind of promotion that we're getting from this whole idea thus far, with all kinds of newspaper coverage, it comes from Australia, from all over the place. And I really think that the little that we have done to let the world know that we have a habitat that is rather unique in this world, that scientists may come and study, so that not only our children may learn what we have here in our surroundings, but the whole world will know that this area has been reserved for this purpose, and that scientists are welcome to come over to study. The other thing is my biggest concern, and that is the economic situation, okay? Based on what I have learned, if and when the CNMI, the Northern Islands, is declared by our president before he leaves his office, we will then be able to set up an office here in the CNMI to be run jointly with federal agencies and our own agencies. Okay, so we have some say-so on what needs to happen up there. Okay, the biggest problem is that if we wipe this out without even due consideration, without fighting for it, I mean, this is the part that I fail to understand. Why is it that our elected leaders all of a sudden decided twice thus far? They said no, no, no. I said yes, 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 because I firmly believe in it. I very seldom express my views in public, as you well know. This is my first time on your show, okay?
Our show.
But, well, you are the host. But I say this, that I believe in it. I want everybody to say that, well, I hope that Sablan is right, and I know I'm right, because I will not support it unless I have done a study and I've seen some of the representation made, and I'm convinced that this is good for the island's economy, and the way to promote this island, these islands, is through these various promotions, that we have something that nowhere else in this world might not have.
You mentioned at the outset that this is financially and economically good.
Yes.
Can you give me another example aside from the international publicity?
I understand from what I learned that there is approximately $10 million in funding, so long as we have that marine monument up in the northern part of our islands, and $10 million is nothing to sniff at, you know. Particularly now that we're hardly have any money, okay? Right. And this is not coming from our resources, it's coming from the federal government. And I really hope that the people who are to make the decision will make decision because they know that it is good for the people of the CNMI.
Okay. Another contention that has been raised, and obviously for public education purposes, is that this is all of a sudden it's being